Hello and welcome back to Blackpool for continuing coverage of the 2015 World Pool Championships. We've had a fantastic 10 days of pool, culminating in 3 days of live streaming. So far today we've seen the men's team final and the ladies' final. This is the point we've all been waiting for though, the men's individual final. Two players of very contrasting ages and experience, but two cracking players. Mick Hill against Nigel Clarke. Let's get them out into the arena.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. My name is John Hope and I shall be the referee for this match. And I'd like you to put your hands together and welcome into the arena the President of the World Eightball Pool Federation, Joe Fanto.
Thank you, John. Thank you, John. Warm round of applause for the referee for this match, John Hope. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure and my honour on behalf of the World Eightball Pool Federation to welcome you here and to introduce the players for this men's singles event for 2015. Ladies and gentlemen, the first competitor. It's his first time in this final. To reach the final, he defeated Michael Oliver, a qualifier, Michael Craig from Scotland, Videsh Zabawal from India, Lee Kendall from England, current European champion. In the quarters, he defeated Adam Davies from England, former world champion. That was in the quarters he defeated Adam Davies. In the semi-final, he defeated Michael Hope from England. Ladies and gentlemen, he's an under-23 international. He's a former under-23 European champion. He's definitely a rising star. Ladies and gentlemen, Sparky Nigel Clarke from England. Good luck, Nigel. And his opponent, he's no foreigner to this arena. He reached the final by defeating Nigel Craig from Northern Ireland, Lakhwinder Birdie from India, Cole Sutton from England, Craig Waddington from England. In the semi, he defeated two-time world champion Tom Cousins from Wales. Ladies and gentlemen, he's a two-time world champion himself. It's my pleasure to introduce the people's champion, Mick Hill from England. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to hand over to the referee. Play may now begin.
We've seen two cracking finals already today, but this is always the most eagerly anticipated moment of the week, the men's individual final. Mick Hill, 35 years old, twice a world champion already, 2004 and 2010, against an up-and-coming star, Nigel Clarke, 2013 under-21 European champion, now making his name on a big stage. Very pleased to be joined in the commentary box for this match by Peter Butterworth. Peter, how do you see this working out?
Very hard to go past Mick Hill for this match, and absolutely no disrespect to Nigel. He's had a great tournament and some fantastic wins, but Mick, so much experience in this arena and on the 8-foot table. Obviously, twice winner, and yeah, how can you go past that?
A moment you don't often see in a professional match like this. The referees rack the balls up incorrectly and having a second go at it.
Well, they're all nervous out there, including the officials.
Yeah, I actually think officiating is probably the hardest possible role because no one notices you until something goes wrong and everyone's very keen to jump in at that point.
Well, that should lighten the mood a little bit.
Yeah, and I think from Nigel Clarke's point of view that'll be a good thing. He understandably looks pretty nervous waiting outside ready to go in. Mick Hill has got a really genuine confidence and a confidence born out of having been there and done it all before, whereas Nigel Clarke, this is his first moment on a stage this big.
Not the start he's wanted.
No, what a shame. Nice break in terms of splitting the balls out, but totally lost the white there.
Well, Nigel's, I'm not saying for a second he's no chance to win, but in his semi-final match he until halfway, he looked out of it. He was not comfortable. The arm was tired. He just didn't look comfortable out there at all. And to my surprise, and probably a few other people's, he really pulled himself out of it and really got going in that match and looked fantastic towards the end. And in the second half. So he's going to need to produce that and more if he's got to give himself a chance today.
In some ways, perhaps not such a bad thing. He knows that even if he doesn't get off to a good start, that's not the end of it. He's got confidence in reserve. Positive shot, as always, from Mick Hill. He's wanted to immediately get after any problem balls, but that's not turned out well. Got himself stuck to this yellow whilst cannoning the red out.
Yeah, it's a tidy little snooker he's put himself in there.
Yeah, he couldn't have got it much tighter to that yellow.
Not a lot of options, just one cushion and... Well, he's looking at the ball up here.
I think it's a disbelief that he's not going to clear up the table in this visit.
Well, we won't count him out right now, because if this is close, he might be able to just play a little swerve and knock it in.
Referee John Hope confirming that it is a total snooker.
I wouldn't put anything past him.
Yeah, we can see he's digging down on the left-hand side of the cue ball. He's trying to bend it.
And that's gone in the centre of the hole, so...
And that's the quality of Mick Hill. We've watched several people play swerve shots this week far too hard and haven't got any reaction on the ball. Mick gave himself every chance there. Got the side on, let the ball release slowly down the table.
And that's one of those annoying things that can happen in pool. Mick's given... Nigel dumps the white. Mick snookers himself first ball, gives Nigel a glimmer of hope, and then extinguishes it straight away.
He's just absolutely relentless from this kind of position, Mick Hill. This is a tournament full of people who are brilliant at clearing up in one visit, but Mick Hill puts a lot of them to shame with the frequency at which he does it.
Yeah, he just doesn't get out of position, especially on this table. So much experience on the bigger table on this stage. Should have enough room in the top left. It looks like he's going to run through for it and play it in the opposite side. It's just nice to have enough angle to get back out. So, unless there's a decent mistake from him, it looks like this is going to be first frame to Mick Hill.
This is going to be a salutary lesson to Nigel Clarke. Any kind of mistake, however minor, could so easily be punished with the loss of a frame.
Yeah, and the annoying part is they've made one mistake each, but Mick Hill's just played such a good recovery shot, it hasn't mattered.
Yeah, I think a lot of people in Mick Hill's position would have been thinking, well, that's not turned out great, let's just get out the snooker. Where Mick Hill couldn't conceive of the idea he wasn't going to clear up, so he was looking for a pot as well.
And even look at the position on that shot, it's absolutely perfect. He's definitely got the speed of the table already.
Amy, it's John Charlie. If you get a moment, can you give us a ring? It's not urgent.
One slightly tricky shot here.
Yeah, even for a positional player as good as Mick Hill, he didn't dare do anything too adventurous with that. Better just to pot the ball and then worry about the black afterwards.
And just double it. Wouldn't imagine he'd want to cut it in the middle from that position.
No, from this angle that almost looks like a possibility, but from behind us it wouldn't look anywhere near as attractive. Well, he's missed it. He did everything in that frame bar pot the black. And what a good chance for Nigel Clarke. Got a couple of difficult balls, but it's almost like a free opportunity this. He would have chalked that last frame up to Mick Hill already, so if he can get anything out of it, it's almost a bonus.
These early frames are very important to Nigel. he can't afford to take his time to get going like he did in the semi-final. If he does that, Mick will fly ahead, and there'll be no stopping him. He won't give enough opportunities to get back into the match. So.
Yeah, I mean, you don't very often see Mick Hill under pressure over the years. He's been so consistent, but anybody is susceptible to pressure if you can win a few early frames against them.
Yeah, definitely.
If he doesn't, as you say, it's going to get very difficult. As soon as Mick Hill gets into his stride on this table, he's going to be off into the sunset.
Just weighing up his options here, Nigel. So, only got one ball he really needs to do anything with. It's the one on the side, the left side cushion. You want a bit of coverage on the black.
Yes, he does at least know that there's tricky yellow on the right. If he was to play it dead weight and miss it, the white's going to come out, and as long as the yellow stays over the pocket, the black isn't going to be possible in there.
Yeah, we'll leave a cross double though, which he won't want to leave either. And Nigel will probably want to extract this ball off the left side cushion with the one in the middle. I mean, all these guys are great doublers, but it's the doubles are a little bit different on the 8-foot table as well.
Yeah, and they're more difficult in the corner pockets. Doubles where the cue ball, where the object ball is somewhere near one of the middle pockets are easier to judge.
Yeah, if you can clear the other three, you definitely want to play that yellow last, the one near the black. It's the extraction shot. It's hit it very nicely.
Yeah, he couldn't have played that any better. The only problem is that the cue ball hasn't come out quite far enough.
Yeah, it's just a touch hard. He'd be
Packed house, as you'd imagine, for the men's final. A few of the England team there. Carl Sutton at the front, Shane Thompson next to him. They were victorious in the team final this morning.
a few of the Aussie boys up there, the under-23 side as well. Actually, Nick Young, the under-23 side, knocked Nigel Clarke out of the under-23 singles, which has worked well for him, obviously.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's ironic to lose one of the age group events and then end up going to the final of the main event.
Yeah, well, it's he should be thanking Nick. It gave him a sole focus, and it's done very well. Just one good positional shot here, and
Wow.
just probably rushed that a little bit. Didn't cue through it.
Can't hold it against him. It's the first frame, but that was a ragged shot compared with the previous ones.
Yeah, it really was an important frame though. Like every time that happens, Mick's going to grow in confidence, and that's the last thing he needs.
Yeah, and if you're Nigel in this position, you'd have rather just cleared up the first time rather than giving him a second chance.
Yeah.
Anyway, that moment's gone now. It's Mick Hill that takes the first frame, leads by 1-0. Nigel had a half chance in the first frame, but ultimately couldn't get it done. Let Mick Hill back in for a simple tap in black. Over the years, Mick Hill's had a powerful break which has set up many of the 8-ball clearances for which he's famed. That looks like another good example. I mean, look at the reds here.
Teach me that break, please.
Didn't even look like he hit it that hard.
Yeah, he's giving himself a practice drill.
Wow. You saw the ease with which he took out a much more difficult clearance in the first frame. Exceptionally hard to imagine him missing from here.
Yeah, they don't get better than that. Okay. Nigel will be thinking about how he's going to break the ball's next frame already, I think. And this rake's a walk in the park for me. And this is why it's going to be hard for Nigel if Mick gets out to a lead. This is why we hope so hard for Nigel to peg him back, because Mick will get a lot of free frames like this.
Yeah, the problem playing Mick Hill isn't just the quality, but it's just the lack of opportunities you have. He's just at the table so much, it's almost as though you feel like you're not getting a go. You see, it's just running around, roll this in. Could not be easier.
She's made a 30-second out from when he's taken his first shot.
Quickest frame of the day. Mick Hill now leads by 2 frames to 0. Double quick time. Mick Hill has taken a 2-0 lead. Nigel Clarke deposited the cue ball in the pocket off his last break. He does not want to be making that mistake a second time.
He needs to relax as quickly as possible, Nigel. And here we go. There's a good opportunity for him. Needs to get on the board. The longer it takes him, the harder it'll be, and the match will be gone.
Yeah, he really does. And he needs to be doing something off his break as well. I think even Mick Hill isn't going to break as well as that every frame, but a few of those in the match, and suddenly the scoreline could get quite big quite quickly.
Now, if he broke that well every time, they wouldn't let him in tournaments or nothing.
No, it would be pointless to play. I mean, we've seen so much pool on this table this week, and nobody has broken as well. That one break was the best of the week by a mile.
There's a very good chance here. They're all on.
Yeah, it's just the kind of opportunity that you're hoping for. Nothing tied up, hand on the table.
Yeah, the ball in the right middle's probably the one he was going to take, but he's hampered by the black, so... There's a funny little angle here. The black's in the way of the natural path you'd want to take.
Yeah, he probably can just force up to the left of the black. He's judged that well.
Yeah, it's a good shot. It's alright, he's going at a nice speed. Doesn't seem to be rushing. Just making sure on the ones he needs to. Positional shot here is the key. Which he's overcooked.
Yeah, just a bit of over-enthusiasm there.
Yeah, a little head shake. Got to try and keep all that to himself.
Yes, Mick Hill's got enough confidence without Nigel adding to that by looking dispirited himself.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. You want Mick to... If you make a mistake, you want Mick to see that it doesn't bother you. Oh, he's got horribly out of position here.
This is a slightly new experience for Mick Hill. In the previous finals, he's played more established players who he might have been really worried about losing to. He'll be well aware that he could easily lose to Nigel Clarke. He's had a phenomenal run to get to this point. But he will regard himself, I think, in a slightly different class.
Yeah, and that's not an arrogant thing. he's got every right to think that because he's in a different class to almost everyone.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate. Those kind of decent opportunities he's really got to be taking.
Yeah, well, 2 missed balls and he could be possibly 4-0 down.
Against most opponents, you wouldn't say this clearance was completely straightforward, but Mick Hill, somehow balls on cushions just don't seem to be a problem. You watch him bash the ball on cushions and screw back, although they're in the middle of the table.
Yeah, and Mick knows how much winning these frames is going to hurt Nigel when he's had a good opportunity. He's going to want to keep Nigel out of the match as much as possible and stop him from getting any rhythm and relaxing. So
I think there is a sense in which Nigel's youth and lack of experience could almost turn into a positive, because he's going to be aware of Mick Hill's reputation, but he's not going to be so battle-scarred himself. It's almost like this is uncharted territory. He's just got to go out and do his best.
yeah, well, he almost needs to hit that point of resignation, going, well, you know, I'm making mistakes, getting completely outplayed. I've just got to let loose and have a dip, which is really the only way he's going to be able to do it. You can't beat him in tactical games. He's a fantastic tactician.
Yeah, and you can't out-pot him really, but
He's just got to, relax and try and take every opportunity. Not put too much pressure on himself, which is much easier said than done, especially in this situation. It's a good shot.
yeah, that is a good escape.
Left it a bit awkward for Mick too.
It was a good performance from Nigel in the semi-finals, because one phenomenon you quite often see about this tournament is that when people reach the televised or streamed stages, it's almost like that was their aim and they kind of relax and give up at that point, and they're happy to have played once in this arena and anything else is a bonus. But he did hold himself together well and did what he needed to get through.
Absolutely. As I said, we really didn't think he was going to be able to get going. He just looked that uncomfortable, but he proved everyone wrong. Tricky shot here. Black's in the way of the natural path. The last thing you want to do is give Mick 2 shots from no matter where the balls are. He has, however, done that. It's a pretty clever shot. He's tied them up nicely, but
The one problem is that there's only one cluster. If there was more than one cluster, this would be difficult, but given that Mick's got 2 shots, so long as he can open them up okay in one, and frankly you wouldn't even put it past him trying to find some way of cannoning in whilst potting another ball.
you want to do that. You want to do it in one go just to send a message to Nigel too. That needs to get up. It's shorter than he wanted to be there.
Yeah, he's not quite done that. If he'd have left a few more inches there, he'd have been able to pot this top right and smash into the cluster.
Well, he might just take the rail ball first and then do it. If this comes off, he's going to do it comfortably in one shot. He's just not got into him heavy enough there.
No, he went for the softer option. He could have smashed in at a lot of pace, decided to try and control it. Hit it well enough, but just not quite enough pace to knock them all out.
Yeah, they're a little bit awkward now, so he can't get to the bottom side of him.
No, he's got no option really but to knock them the wrong way as far as he's concerned.
Yeah.
You can only see the right hand side as he looks at it.
Mind you, we'll see what happens. Well, he still might be okay if he's straight enough on this.
Yeah, if he's straight he may be able to drop in, and if he's got too much angle he may be able to come off the baulk cushion. It'd be easier if he can, as you say, just drop this straight in.
He tends to find a way. I mean, there's easy safety here, but he won't want to give Nigel another visit if he has the option. But that's what he's done.
It's a decent sneaker because if Nigel rests dead weight onto the yellow, he's very likely to leave the difficult red. If he hits it hard, he'll just clear out that area. So,
Well, if he hits it hard, even if he doubles it in, I'm not sure the black passes the red.
no. I think it's probably wiser to hit it harder because he doesn't really want... Leaving the cue ball where that yellow is precisely where Mick wants to be, so it's not really where you want to leave.
He needs to hit it about half ball on the bottom side so the white gets down this end. At least makes it reasonably difficult.
Yeah, and he has hit it hard.
On the wrong side, he's gone.
Shot.
And he's gone in off.
Very unlucky to go in off there. Trusting to luck, of course, with the contact, but to find the corner pocket. Mick so comfortable with this kind of long shot, puts it down without even thinking about it, screws over to the left-hand side.
Screw out or just nudge the black on the way out.
Beautiful touch.
Dead straight in the middle.
Right now, it's not easy to see where Nigel's first frame's coming from.
No.
Mick chalks up another one. He now leads by 3 frames to 0. It's all been one-way traffic so far. Twice world champion already. Mick Hill rapidly powering his way towards a third. Feels like we haven't really seen much from Nigel Clarke. I wouldn't want to write him off at this stage because we know what a good player he is, and he is capable of reeling off several frames. It's just, at the moment, he's not getting easy enough opportunities to get started with.
It's another great break from Mick.
Yeah, I mean, the difference of Mick's break from a lot of the others is he's leaving no clusters. One ball on a cushion, and not that he'd probably even take that colour, but even if he did, it's not in a difficult position.
I mean, the reds again just look so easy. All out in the open. No touching balls at all, not even anything remotely close to a cluster. Good starter. It's hard to see where he'll go wrong in this one.
Until proved otherwise, Mick is going to be thinking, I'll get away with this. Even if I miss one, it'll be okay. What Nigel needs to do is put the idea in his mind, you miss, I clear up. And then suddenly it's not quite so easy for Mick. He doesn't take these free-flowing clearances in the same way. At the moment, he's just playing with a level of freedom that you see from a lot of good pool players, but you don't see it in World Championship finals. That's the difference. And
that's beautiful cueing. That he's made that shot look very easy. Held the white nice.
Even Mick isn't quite as fast, but it puts you in mind of twice world champion Chris Melling. 10 plus years ago, really dominated the game. He was just clearing up from absolutely everywhere at breakneck speed. You just felt that every time he broke, he was bound to clear up. Mick's getting that same kind of aura about him.
Yeah, as you said, just a tiny bit slower, but same efficiency.
The logo there of the hotel collection, host since 2007, the Eastwell Imperial Hotel in Blackpool.
Just got a little bit out of shape here, Mick. He's still cured it fine, so it shouldn't be a problem.
Well, I don't think that's what he had in mind.
I'm pretty sure he's still on both balls, but the transition, if he plays the one he's closest to, the transition to the other one's pretty difficult.
Yeah, the one he's nearest to is an easier pot, but avails almost no position. The other one's not an easy pot, but actually, if he drops it in, it probably can hold for the one in the middle.
I don't think, well, where he'd want to screw off the cushions right where the middle pocket is, so not impressed with himself.
No, and that's the perfectionist in him. Not really done a lot wrong, but he's one of those players that does occasionally have a slightly disappointed look at his face when actually things aren't that bad.
Oh,
Well,
he's lost the white.
close to the pot, but ultimately it's the white that's gone down. Now really, this is the kind of opportunity Nigel Clarke has got to be taking. The balls are all out in the open. The one on the cushion on the right hand side can easily be dropped down that cushion.
Yeah, if he can't get these, he's in real trouble.
And Mick looks annoyed with himself, and that's what Nigel needs to capitalise on. I mean, Mick has this kind of pseudo-annoyed look a lot, even when he's playing brilliantly, so he can't take too much hope from that. But if he could just clear these up, it'll make a big difference to the flow of this match.
Yeah, back to 3-1 and a break with a chance to go 3-2 is, as opposed to, shouldn't really have had a visit here, so Mick knows it should be 4-0, and 4-0's getting very close to out of reach for Nigel, especially when he hasn't got going.
Good position now, just the yellow between the black and the red will be one of the more difficult ones to get onto, but plenty of options for it.
Just drop the one down the cushion, down the right cushion, and should come out nicely for that. Got a funny little contact there. Hasn't hurt him too much.
No, he was expecting to go forward a bit further. This makes the one down the cushion just about missable, although the pace he needs to play it at, it would be a very disappointing miss.
Yeah, and there's no pressure on it with 2 visits. Well, prove me wrong.
If he'd been 2 inches further forward, I think that would have been unmissable, but he was also trying to play it with drag to hold position. I think if he could have just played it plain ball, it would have just made it a little bit easier. Sometimes when you drag them that slowly, you flick a bit of side on.
Yeah, he's still okay.
Yeah, now he's moved the more difficult ball. There's no excuse for not clearing up still.
Now he's got the one-shot pressure back on him. And not even let anything about missing get into his head for the next 4 shots. Just look at him go, they're easy, knock him in, you've done it a million times. He's just overhit it a bit, but his line was very good. There's old mate Ian Will, Mongrel, and Mrs. Mongrel from Canberra in Australia. First time over as well.
That must be another issue for the Australian team. Not just the coming over here is a long way, but Australia is such a big country, it's presumably hard to get everybody together in one place to practice.
Yeah, it's lucky flights are cheap these days. But yeah, we travel a lot for tournaments all over the country. So.
Yeah, because in this country we talk about driving up to Blackpool, but you don't drive over from Perth to Sydney unless you've got a couple of weeks spare.
Yeah.
And this is good stuff. I think everybody in the crowd, apart from the most ardent Mick Hill fans, will be pleased with this. It's nice to see Nigel get a frame on the board and make a fight of this. Good clearance completed. Needed both visits, but why not when you've got them? Claws one back. Mick Hill now leads Nigel Clarke by 3 frames to 1. Well, if Mick Hill thought he was going to run away with it, Nigel Clarke's got other ideas. Very important first frame on the board. Will that have lifted his confidence as he breaks off in the fifth frame?
Yeah, it's great for Nigel to get on the board. It would have been a lot better had he done it when he was first visiting the frame, but he'll relax a bit more, but Mick Hill's intensity may go up a notch too after making an error.
Yeah, Mick Hill always appears to be quite a perfectionist. He looks disappointed when he makes even small mistakes, so I think it will be going through his mind that he didn't want to be losing that last frame from the position he was in.
And just the difference in the breaks, there's tricky balls everywhere here.
Yeah, and this kind of thing is going to be very costly because the way the match has gone, Nigel will know that he needs to go for first visit clearances if he's going to get into the match, but the last thing he wants to be doing is chasing clearances that aren't quite there.
Yeah, which was what was done against him. In fact, in the semi-final.
Yeah, I mean, at least by the time you get to this final, he's had one lengthy session out on this table in this arena, so he knows a bit more what it's like. And he's kind of done the family thing. If he had people watching that, people in the crowd, he knows what that's like now. So
yeah,
to a point, he can focus a bit more on the job in hand. And really, you have to see it as an opportunity because he's a young lad, but in his career, he probably won't reach that many world finals just because of the calibre of the players. You just, however good you are. I mean, Mick Hill's been away doing other things for a while, but still, it's been 5 years since he was in the world final, so you don't get the chance very often. You've got to take it when you get there.
Yeah, man, you've got to go out there with nothing to lose and try and play your natural game. And he's got a bit awkward here.
Yeah, I mean, there's still this yellow on the right-hand side that it's never really been apparent what he's got in mind for it.
He tried to develop those two yellows. I don't know if he's made one of them on or not. So he may just nudge this, nudging behind this yellow. No. Well, I think he's trying to push the red across to the cushion, but he's just underhit it.
Yeah, he's trying to knock, ideally, one or both reds safe, and he's actually knocked them both into better position.
Well, this is a really good opportunity for Mick here. Play this one over the hole, open the black up, and then he's got angle on the red over the right bottom corner to open the other one up. Might not even need to open the black up.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if he can get, hard to tell from this angle, can he get behind that bottom yellow into the cluster on the right-hand side cushion? No, maybe not. He'll have to wait, but he can do that off one of the two reds on the right-hand side.
He's got the rest out. See the rest a lot more on this table than you do on the small
Yeah,
ones.
haven't we just? No,
He's
no,
done
in fact he
exactly
did have
that.
the angle. I thought if he did, he'd be tempted to play that because it was a good opportunity to get that done early on while there were a few other balls around.
Tricky shot in the middle.
Yeah, I mean there's not much choice but to roll that one in the middle, but it's not the most attractive shot. The good thing on very fast tables is you really can play them absolutely dead weight if you want to. I mean, it's a matter of preference. Some people prefer to punch them in a bit harder. Well, he went for the firmer option, pushed it onto the far jaw.
So good opportunity again for Nigel.
And really, the way the match started, to be faced with a clearance for 3-2 is beyond what he could have expected. This could be really significant if he can take them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a mistake from Mick, but it's not a high percentage pot he was taking on.
No, it isn't. It's hard to be too critical, but there's almost cult status for being able to clear up from it anyway.
He's raised the bar pretty high in the past.
Although Mick knows all about pressure. I remember when he won his first world title in 2004, he'd been at the top of the game for a while at that point. He was still young, but it's not like he won his very first time of entering. He had to go through all the rounds and go through the heartache as well.
was a strange shot from Nigel. He's really underhit it and left himself a tough shot. And leaving everything for Mick if he misses. It's a great shot. Has he got enough room between the cue ball and yellow to be able to make the pot?
That's the kind of smooth keying that wins you titles like this. Stroked that in, didn't try and hit it too hard.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely capable of doing it. Neither player having had an easy run to this point. Don't think there's any such thing as an easy run.
No, when you look at some of the players that Nigel's beaten Michael Hope, top England player and part of the World Championship winning team this morning, 10-7 in the semi-final. Beat the 2011 World Champion Adam Davis 9-6 in the quarters. And England captain Lee Kendall 8-3 in the last 16. So he's definitely worked his way through some quality players to get here.
And after doing all that, it's still another thing entirely beating Mick Hill out here. But very good chance to go 3-2 here.
The calibre of those opponents, he must be a good match player. Like, those are not people that are going to roll over tamely just because he pots a few balls. You've got to hold yourself together for a sustained period if you're going to beat the likes of Lee Kendall and Adam Davis.
Well, just the way he fought through the tough times yesterday in the semi proved that he's a good match player, I think.
I don't know how much Mick will know of Nigel, but you'll only have to look at that record to understand what he's facing. May not be the most familiar name, but what a shot, and he's flicked it up in the top right hand corner, and he's on the black, is he?
I don't think that'll be a bit annoying, but what it has done is it's made Mick realise that he's still very, very nervous out there.
Yes, I agree. I think Mick will be happier that it's been like that than he'd just cleared up, but not nearly as happy as he'd have been if the ball hadn't gone in, of course.
Yeah.
But down it has gone. Not the most obvious way of doing it, but he's found it somehow. Mick Hill now leads Nigel Clarke by 3 frames to 2. Well, something for Mick Hill to think about as he sits in the chair. When he was 3-0 up, we were talking about where would Nigel find his first frame from. Since then, he's worked out the answer to that. Incredible fluke to finish that last frame, which, although Nigel will be delighted with the scoreline, it's kind of embarrassing having a fluke like that. He missed the pot by so far that it flew around the table and ended up at the other end of the table.
And have we seen a yellow just drop in the corner? Last ball moving.
Well, the worst of his 3 breaks so far. It's the first time that he's been left with a cluster in the middle of the table.
Yeah, reds are still pretty good.
Yeah, if that red in the cluster of yellows clips into the middle pocket, that would be quite a presentable opportunity. If not, it's not in a bad place to try and nudge it out.
You know, if you can move the yellow, the bottom yellow, the red will pass across the table as well.
Yeah, and that would be a useful shot to play because it may be able to free the black up whilst doing it, if indeed that's required. These tables, the extra foot being an 8-foot table, not a 7-foot one, seems to give a lot more space in the middle of the table. You see a lot more shots playing into the middle pocket from around the area of the rack.
That's what he's looking at. Moving that yellow.
Yeah, from when he was looking at it, it looked like he might be trying to play it onto the red. Hard to tell.
Just cannon into it now.
That looks pretty good if the red goes back into the bottom right hand corner pocket. I think he's just about okay. That yellow came perilously close to covering the red, but I think it still goes past.
I'm sure there'll be a few viewers in Australia up in the middle of the night watching this.
Yeah, it's been a nice thing of having it streamed live. People can enjoy the action in real time.
And all around the world, I'm assuming.
Yeah, from the comments we've been getting, it's been well represented around the world. Good international presence in the tournament this year. Malta had that great run. Morocco had a great run last year. It's really lifted the international profile of the game.
Well, we can't just have teams from over here winning everything.
No, absolutely. They've had a lot of dominance over the years, but actually the quality of, well, we refer to them as the overseas teams because it's hosted in England, but I mean they're not any the worse for having travelled a bit further. A lot of them have played so well. We see Supreme Pool, who've provided the match table for so long. High quality table this.
I think he's meant to land a bit low on this so he can run through and open the black up. But he hasn't got enough of it, and he's almost clipped the red on the way through. He's going to try and get on the angle again. Yeah, if you can play that and get the white straight through that gap we're looking at, should come out and be on his last ball. And he's overhit it again.
Now, what angle's he got? If he's just off straight, he may be able to force into the yellow above the red. If the angle's going the other way, he's going to have to run round two cushions.
And double it.
That's what he's looking at now.
Yeah, I think he might have to double it across it from there. There's no potting. Oh, it's close, but...
The way he's played that suggests it probably does just go.
Play it with a little bit of side, or he reckons he's got the angle.
There it does. High quality clearance from Mick Hill to reexert his authority.
That's a very good out.
Gets the score back to 4-2. Couple of shaky moments from Mick Hill allowed Nigel Clarke to get into the match, but normal service was very much resumed there. Top quality clearance, had a couple of very tricky positional shots at the end, which made it look like he was just rolling the balls in.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the best break Nigel's done as far as spreading the balls, but he hasn't got one, so here goes Mick again.
Yeah, it's a cruel game, isn't it? If he could have cleared up off his own break, and that's really what he's going to have to do. I just can't see him getting enough opportunities off Mick Hill's breaks to get into this match if he doesn't start taking some off his own.
Yeah, Mick was looking very casual out there. I think he might have needed that mistake and Nigel to get a couple to really lift his intensity.
Yeah, you don't very often see completely one-sided matches. People more often than not tend to relax a bit too much when they go too far ahead at this level. And of course the quality of the opposition is such you're never going to get a truly one-sided match.
Yeah. He can't possibly have been playing for the gap he just landed in. Surely.
That's the touch of a world champion. That cannon's not really helped. Although he's left
He's okay.
a shot on it. If he hadn't done that, I think it would have been easier to take the one on the left-hand side of the table.
Yeah, without a doubt, but he's still got the one on the right cushion that he can drop on.
Just needs to mind what he's doing with the cue ball and not run into any of the reds at the top of the table.
He's just losing it a little bit. He's got the two yellows on the left.
Yeah, he's normally very good at this kind of shot. Answer it just off the cushion like this, with a slight angle. Very steady with it.
It's a really well controlled cannon. Stop the white dead.
Back into absolutely prime position now. He's got this one up top right, middle, bottom right, and then the black's there waiting.
Lost it for a couple of shots and now he's back in prime position. Little stun run through.
Yeah, even then, just absolutely pinpoint. Huge area to finish in, but not taking any liberties. Wanted to be just right so he finishes as close as possible to the last unit.
Yeah, I think we've seen the last of his loose mistakes.
He's the kind of player that will always give you some chances because he's fairly aggressive, but the percentage of these clearances he makes is alarmingly high if you're sitting in the opposite chair.
He made very short work of these.
Cool, quick, composed. And kill now leads Nigel Clarke by 5 frames to 2. So much quality on display from Mick Hill. The wobbles have been small ones. Nigel Clarke at least will feel that he's got a foothold in this match. He's not still messing around on 0 or 1 at the point where he feels like he's not taking part, but these frames start mounting up quite quickly. He's going to be looking intently as Mick Hill breaks off here. He does not want to see a ball going down.
It'll still be hard for Nigel looking at the scoreline going, well, I've won 2 frames, but I jagged the ball to win one of them, so...
Normal service resumed with the break. It's a small cluster, but...
Small cluster, but the yellow probably goes in the middle anyway. And easy on this bottom yellow. Sorry, the one in baulk.
Yes, that may be the one difficulty, the way you start with this clearance. If you can get in position, it's fine.
Yeah, as I said, middle of the night, 3 o'clock or so in the morning in Australia, but there's quite a few people I know that will be up watching this.
Yeah, they've been fantastic supporters, the Australians, of this tournament for the past 23 years.
They certainly have been. A good part of my family will be watching it, and my lovely fiancée, Winey. Hello, dear. He's tried to leave him off the red there. No. He's tried to leave him off the yellow, so he's taken reds and played a containing shot, but he might have left him straight in the middle.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot to choose between the balls there, and the problem with the yellows is there just wasn't anything to get started with.
It's not a huge mistake, but it's a mistake. Tricky shot, and he's played it very well.
Yeah, that's turned out nicely. As you say, that yellow on the right-hand side may well go into the middle pocket, in which case this is a very good opportunity.
Yeah, well, yeah, another one you might not have expected too. He needs to take one of these opportunities in one visit. Start mounting a little bit of pressure on Mick.
Very much so. And off Mick's break as well, it'd be sending a message that he's not going to have it all his own way.
Oh, God.
Ooh.
That's a long way off.
Play it with drag again. We've seen a couple of shots like that.
Just the stiff arm he's tried to steer it. He needs to just cue the balls.
If you're going to play it with drag like that, you've got to hit it very well. It's so easy to get unwanted side or just slightly get across the ball.
And yes, viewers, we understand how tough it is out there.
Absolutely. It's a very easy game from the commentary box.
But it doesn't change the fact that a mistake's a mistake. Just want that to stop off the cushion.
I think the mistakes he needs to cut out are the easy ones like that, as you might say. Like, that wasn't a shot that he needed to miss. Like, it's understandable if he's taking on a half chance, but when he's right in amongst the balls, that's when he's really got to make hay.
Yeah. Well, that's just a fantastic shot.
Presumably played probably more as a safety shot in the first instance, but
Yeah,
happy to carry on.
but never looked like missing. Only really, if you can get out and play the middle of the three reds next, and just get a little bit of contact on the yellow and red, it'll be on down the cushion. Unless he's not trying to move it now, is he? Yes, he is.
Wow. That would have taken an unbelievable shot to get enough pace into the cue ball from where he was.
Well, he might have almost done enough, believe it or not.
Yeah, well, I think this red may go off the yellow, which it depends how close he is. If he's not close enough that he can cue down on it, it may be okay.
He certainly moved the yellow about a quarter of an inch, and it might have been enough. So accurate with that shot.
Yeah, beautiful judgment. It's going to be hard to get enough pace, but on a fast table, he's done it.
Well, that's painful for Nigel.
Yeah, I mean, actually, where the balls are finished up, Mick's happy to pot it, but pretty happy to leave it as well.
Yeah.
Well, this is frustrating for Nigel. Last time he came to the table, he had a decent chance. Now he's got a slightly worse chance than he had last time.
He's just laid up here.
Oh, can Mick see the one over the corner pocket?
Oh, look, he's probably left him on that on purpose, forcing him to have a go. There's really no other way to win the frame.
No, if the black was more in the open, Mick would be gleefully potting that, but not as much purpose where things are. Opts for the safety instead.
And he's not going to fall for that, Mick.
No, something's too good to be true, it probably is.
You can set as many traps for me as you like, but they won't work unless I fall for them. So, what's your next idea here, Nigel? Trying to figure out a way to get the black down over this pocket without giving two away, which is very tough because the black's above all these yellows.
Yeah, that's a long-term option at best.
Thought he might have been able to play the yellow that's next to the black as much as he could and push the black over to the cushion at least.
Yeah, I'm not sure this kind of containing game is entirely going to work. It's not really putting Mick under a lot of pressure at the moment. Well, this time he is tempted by the red over the corner pocket.
Well, it's not great, but he's okay. Bit of a blind shot here.
Yeah, for a moment it looked like he was going to get stuck behind the yellow, but he can screw across back into the middle of the table.
It's a great pot. And what looks like perfect positional shot too.
He just plays those shots so slowly, but gets so much reaction off the cue ball.
Times the ball so well. Screw back off the bottom cushion, or no?
Well, surely after all this the black doesn't go under that yellow, does it?
Well, it must.
It does.
That's easy.
Well, in that case that was a mistake from Nigel to leave him that opportunity. McHill moves another one ahead, now leads by 6 frames to 2. McHill's a double world champion and that class is shining through at the moment. Nigel Clarke had a few goes at the table there, but ultimately played what didn't seem a very astute containing safety shot and left an opportunity that McHill all too gratefully accepted.
Yeah, we know he's got the ability, Nigel. We just needs to relax and show us. He's more than capable of getting himself into this match, but with the break not travelling beautifully makes it very difficult. And he needs to do it very soon, or it'll be gone.
He's had 5 breaks already in this match and he hasn't cleared up from any of them, which at this standard could prove costly.
The balls are a little bit ugly. He's probably looking at the yellow in the centre, which may, and the yellow to the right in balk. Oh, hang on, where is he going? No, he's just gone safety. Obviously, nothing took his fancy at all there.
No, it's not going to force the issue. So it's still an open table.
So not a great opportunity, but still an opportunity for Nigel.
Yeah, anytime you come back to the table with all 15 balls still there, it's something of a relief against McHill.
Yeah, that's not a great layout in either colour. Yellow's probably a touch better.
Now, this is almost one of these positions where you're not that keen to be having the first go, because you take out a difficult initial clearance and break down somewhere, then you just leave them all open for your opponent.
Yeah, well, he's underhit that. If he was going to miss that ball, you wanted to push it past, but Mick will definitely be having a go now. He's a world champion under 18 Aussie side. Kids got up this year. Fantastic effort from him.
Yeah, that is a great effort. All goes well for the future of your team.
Yeah, it's looking good. Solid under 23s and good juniors. It's always what you want to see.
I think success breeds success, because if the senior team do well, it provides role models for the juniors.
youngest and oldest got a world title.
So you guys in the middle, I just need to
No one in
pull
between.
your weight.
Yeah.
Well, Mick Hill wasn't going to need a second invitation. He wasn't playing a safety shot that time.
It's hard to see if this yellow goes in the middle. Looks like it's covered. And the same with the yellow next to the black, whether it goes in the corner, which he'll be opening the other two up here. So yeah, it's obviously close.
Normally he's a fan of going for a clearance at the earliest opportunity, but I think this occasion this does look a bit challenging.
He's just missed that yellow. That's a hair off going in.
Yeah, it really is. And actually, if you look at the other balls, he dealt with a lot of the problems.
Yeah, he would have been pretty happy from there. So we've got to do something now, Nigel. 7-2's a deficit you can't see anyone coming back against Mick.
Yeah, shots like that aren't going to help.
Yeah, still feeling it out there.
Who can blame him? A lot of eyes on you. It's a very lonely place, that chair.
For sure. Yeah, this is as tough as it gets. Mick Hill in a world final. Someone who just feels like he owns the arena out there.
Yeah, well, that's exactly the issue. Although we haven't seen him in it quite so much lately, he's just been out there so many times that I don't really think issues like the crowd are going to enter his head.
No, well, that's it. He's learnt to enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you'd give that as advice to anybody going out there, and very much to Nigel, that you should try and enjoy it, because who's to say you'll ever get a second chance in a world final? It's just so hard to do. Well, does Mick think he can turn this over with a bit of...
Yeah, it's a very good shot.
A lot of right-hand side, and he has.
Landed exactly where he wanted to then. Very good shot. So this is one more frame gone for Nigel. Very dangerous signs.
He's gone so quickly as well. A couple of shots ago we were saying this is a tricky layout, and a couple of good shots and the whole frame's open.
7-2. It's well, it's not over, but it's getting there.
This is what he does to you, Mick Hill. It's relentless. Another one on the scoreboard. He now leads by 7 frames to 2. When he beat the defending champion 10-5 in the semi-finals, it sent out a pretty clear message to the rest of the world that Mick Hill was here to do business. Tom Cousins, his opponent in that match, was a man in form. It's been a very long time since he lost a match at this tournament. To get on the end of such a comprehensive scoreline, I mean, not to say that it wasn't a close match, but Mick Hill really did what he needed to in that match.
Yeah, you're beating a guy in the semi-finals of the World who hadn't lost a match here at the time since 2012. It's a pretty convincing victory, and certainly sending a message.
Yeah, in fact, he took apart the established order in the quarters and the semis. Tom Cousins 10-5 in the semis, and Craig Waddingham, who's been at the business end of the tournament for several years in a row, he took out 9-7 in the quarters.
He's just cued across that one a little bit. So, very good opportunity on yellows here.
Yeah, that was the first out-and-out potting mistake we've seen from Mick so far.
So come on, Nigel, get going, mate. Just build that confidence a little.
Last frame before the mid-session interval. 7-3 would be tricky, but just about possible. 8-2 would be practically packing your bags already.
He's still looking edgy, but he just needs to just guide his way through these. Keep it as absolutely as basic as he can.
Yeah, the less he moves the cue ball, the better with this clearance. Just left and right across the table.
Yeah, 8-2, he won't enjoy the mid-session interval much at all, but 7-3's a little bit more hopeful. Cued that well. This is the shot, similar sort of shot he's hit thin a few times. He just needs to stay down and cue this nicely.
Yeah, it's quite a natural positional shot, so you can concentrate on the putt. That's better.
Yep. Much better. He's just going to be hampered a little bit by the red ball here. Just a little stun back.
Again, this is just one of those ones. Keep your head down, stay still.
Good shot.
Well, he's not giving up.
Not much to do now. Natural position on the black.
Great finish under pressure from Nigel Clarke. He's going to be 4 frames behind at the mid-session interval. He's still in this match. Mick Hill leads by 7 frames to 3.
I was walking about and I got something banging on my leg. I said I was walking about and I had something banging on my leg. What was that? No, it fell down and gone inside and it was hitting me on.
Been a captivating final so far. Mick Hill has opened up a 4-frame lead now. Is there any way back for Nigel? Had some good moments, but a bit too few and far between at the moment. I just feel, Butters, that if he's going to get into this, he's got to start clearing up off his own break.
Yeah, he's going to have to throw everything he's got at Mick Hill now. Can't afford to make any more mistakes. Mick's looking pretty good out there. Good clearance from Nigel in the last would have settled him a little bit more, but he's still not looking 100% comfortable out there.
He's not done anything too bad. I don't think he'll look away and look at this afterwards and think he's made a series of horrendous mistakes, but it's just he's not taking the half chances or the 3/4 chances, and those are the ones that's as good as you're going to get against Mick, so you've got to take them.
Yeah, that's exactly right. You can't afford to make any mistakes, and as you said, and yeah, every single opportunity he gets, he needs to do something with. If for nothing else, he needs to let Mick know that he's come to play. So,
absolutely, Mick Hill's very confident at the best of times. I don't think anything would have dented that confidence in what he's seen so far.
Mick's in cruise control, so. And he's got a red.
Pretty much normal service in terms of the balls nicely spread out after the break. It's not quite as simple as some of the previous opportunities, but there's still plenty of opportunities for him.
Yeah, these don't look too bad. There's only the red on the left side, down this end. And he's taking yellows. Oh. That's going to hurt him.
Yeah, well, that's very costly, isn't it? It's an open table.
Yeah, that's it's hard to see him coming back. If Mick clears this and 8-3, Mick's going to start to see the finish line, and this match will be gone before Nigel's got a chance to do anything about it. Oh,
well,
if
you ever wanted to know how confident Mick Hill is.
Yeah, well, he's just played behind the back plant.
I mean, it was unmissable, so I suppose you could play it left-handed behind the back, whatever you feel comfortable with, but that's sending a message, isn't it?
You still won't see anyone else do that too often, I don't think. Behind the back plant and open table. It's great stuff. Done that one just for the cameras, I think, Mick.
Yeah, absolutely.
How's
And it gets to the stage, if you're Mick Hill, where it's not good enough just to win, you want to win in style as well.
There's a positional shot there.
Yeah, exquisite cue ball control throughout this final.
So just working out how to get back down the table. And that's on. Stopped on a nail head again.
Yeah, he's really got the pace of the table very quickly. Understandably, in the team matches, people were getting less frames, but there was a lot of under and over hitting, whereas Mick isn't doing any of that at all.
Well, that one wasn't ideal. Well, actually, if he was trying to play, he might have been trying to cannon the red to land on the one across the table.
Yeah, as long as he can hold for the plant, this is okay, I think.
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
So there, deliberately played that cannon, didn't want the cue ball running away. Just such good control. I mean, the balls were all in open positions, but you still had to get them. You had to get the cue ball in the right position each time, and he's been within about half an inch of optimum position the entire clearance.
This is very close to being over now. 8-3 if he sinks this. Very worrying times for Nigel.
Right, they're showing off now. Shots behind the back, shots raining in from everywhere. Mick Hill now leads Nigel Clarke by 8 frames to 3. Starting to look all too easy for Mick Hill. Trick shots, big pots, big positional shots will come equally to him at the moment. So he breaks off in frame 12.
Take seats, please.
And keep the momentum going.
Yeah, it's equaling history in the making. Going for a third world title.
Frame 12.
Yeah,
Mick
only
Hill
Gareth
to break.
Potts currently
Leading
on
by
that
8
score of
frames
3.
to 3. Time running.
And it certainly wouldn't have to be his last. He's not an old man by any stretch, Mick. He's only 35.
No, his game looks to be in prime shape.
I'd like to say he's quite young for Paul, considering
Open
I'm 4 years
table.
older than him.
Absolutely. Still time for next year, but
That's it.
I can still see you in this final.
It's not over for me. Yeah, try a break there. Everything pretty open, so good opportunity here for Nigel.
Yeah, he's almost at the stage now when he's thinking about clearing up for pride more than the win at the moment.
Yeah, which, you know, could work for him if he's
Yellow balls in play.
if he has a bit of that resignation of, well, it's almost out of my hands this match now, which it almost is if Mick can break and run a few anyway, but it might just take all the tension out of the arm and we might see something a bit closer to his best,
Absolutely.
which of course we all want to see, and I'm sure Mick wants to see as well.
Well, 2 times former world champion Tom Cousins only managed 5 frames against Mick in the semis. If Nigel could get anywhere near that figure, he could console himself that plenty of big name players have suffered the same fate that he seems destined to at present.
Yeah, it just seems to be when Mick plays well, there's all these good players, and then there's Mick.
Yeah, he hasn't had an easy path to the final. He's not been beating people to 0 or 1. His scores have been 10-5, 9-7, 8-5, 8-5, 8-5.
Yeah,
But they've all been comfortable.
he's been pushed, but not to the point of, probably being too worried.
And as is often the case with great players, they react well to pressure. They don't find it a problem, they find it a good thing. So probably the better opponents have played against him, the more he'd have had in the tank anyway.
For sure. They, good players when they're not playing their best, they do enough to win.
Although moments of this have felt like the Mick Hill show, Nigel Clarke has played his part and he's taken out some decent finishes and looks on course to take out another one here.
Yeah, nice little shot there. Just got to try and not overhit this. Skew it nice enough to miss the red on the way out. Just hit that well.
Nigel had one wish, it would probably not so much be anything to do with the quality of his play, it would just be that he had a different opponent. Against somebody else, this could have been a very different match.
Someone else that doesn't make it, that makes an occasional error.
Yeah, and lets you have a go sometimes.
Screwing back for the corner, is he? No, for the same pocket. That's a nice confident shot.
That's a very good positional shot. Not lacking in confidence despite the scoreline.
So that's
Finishes it off, that's a good clearance. And 4 frames in it now, Mick Hill leads by 8 frames to 4.
Frame 13, Nigel Clarke to break.
Never
Trading
easy
by
making a
8
debut on
frames
this
to
stage.
4.
Nigel
Time
Clarke's
run-
not found it any
time
easier
running.
than most of the other debutants in recent years. To his credit, he's sticking with it. 4 frames on the board. Still got a foothold in this match.
Yeah, 4 behind in a break, and he's got a red.
And that's
Rolls
more like
Potter.
it. That's a much better split. Look at the yellows.
Yellows are fantastic.
Now, the one thing he hasn't done so far is cleared up off his own break, and he will not get a better opportunity in this
Yellow
final
balls
than
in
these
play.
balls.
If he's any chance of salvaging anything in this match, this is the perfect opportunity.
I mean, I don't think you've ever seen a break so one-sided where half the balls are really open and the other's just in a tiny cluster nicely out of the way.
Yeah, we might have to chat to the ref there. I don't think he racked them up properly.
Oh, that's a dream break, isn't it?
Well, it's quite amazing that can happen.
Well, when you think what has to happen, because they were racked up obviously alternately and spread out, so they went away and then clustered back up together.
Yeah, that's amazing. He's just come up a little bit short here. He wanted to be a bit straighter on this ball. He's changed the way he's gone about it. They take the one across to the right, then the left bottom, just slide up the cushion. No, he's going to prove me wrong. No, he's not. Thank you, Nigel.
Yeah, I mean, this is the sensible way, although the positional shot off this next ball is not an absolute gimme. He'll leave himself a shot at the yellow pretty much whatever he does, but he doesn't want to make this difficult. He wants to end up nicely in on the yellow so that he doesn't have to move the ball far for the black.
No, you want to be pretty much dead straight on it. Oh, he's got a little nudge. It's okay.
That's a good angle actually. He can drop that in, run past the black.
And back in the left middle. Oh, well.
Oh, what a miss. What a
Red balls in
miss.
play.
That's the first sign of real pressure we've seen. He's missed a couple of half chances, but that was inexcusable. I think he was just thinking about the position. He just had to sneak past the black there. He just pushed it onto the jaw.
There was no positional problems at all. He just had to make the shot. Make the shot, play in a stun shot. That's the cue ball couldn't go wrong. So this will be punishment now.
It's a funny thing, pressure, isn't it? That was a clearance that was nigh on impossible to miss. Most of the crowd will be looking at that, thinking they could have slotted that in.
Absolutely. Yeah. Has he come far enough to screw into him? Yes, he has. Right into the heart of him.
Now the fact they're all so close together is a real bonus for Mick because he can split them all out in one good shot.
Yeah.
Look at that beautiful control.
Now he's got four easy shots.
Some people would have gone into that much firmer, but Mick didn't want the ball spread far and wide across the table and going near cushions.
He's opened them up and left them right in the centre of the table. It's perfect.
You just feel with that missed yellow, that's
Just nudge into the black.
Nigel's chances running away from him.
Yeah, that one really hurts Nigel. He got a couple on the board and could have been back to within 3.
He's more than capable of making his own luck, but that was a gift-wrapped opportunity that Mick's got here.
Yeah, very disappointing for Nigel there. It's
Right.
best opportunity by far he's had to break the dish. So.
Did all the hard work.
by 9 frames to 4. Time running.
Nigel Clarke's played some decent stuff in this match, but unforced errors have been his undoing, and they don't come any worse than the one in the last frame. One of the simplest run-outs you'll ever see for a clearance off the break.
Another dry break from Mick. This match has all but gotten away from Nigel now.
I think everybody in the crowd willing him on. He's shown so much promise, but hasn't completely converted it in this match. We all know what he's capable of from his performances up until this point. However this match goes, this will have to go down as one of the best, if not the best, pool weeks of his life. But at the moment, there's going to be a bit of disappointment.
Absolutely, he'll be okay tomorrow. The experience he's gained here is something money can't buy.
Yeah, I mean, how few players over the years have even made the World Championship final?
Well, he's played on the big stage 2 matches in a row.
Still, he's not allowing himself to buckle. Externally, he's got a very calm demeanour about him, but you feel inside he must be feeling the pressure.
Yeah, duck on a pond. All calm on the outside with the feet going 100 mile an hour underwater. It's how the head will feel.
Still in possession of his cue action. He hasn't completely lost it. There's been a couple of twitches, but broadly he's still holding it together.
Yeah, the action's still there, but he's just not getting through the ball smoothly. Hasn't been timing it at all. Still tight in the hand and the arm.
Similar shot he's facing here to the one that he missed in the last frame.
Stay down, which he did. He's still okay.
Yeah, I think he just didn't want to take any risks there, just didn't trust himself to screw back or do too much with the position. Dropped it in. Knew he was always going to have the shot hanging over the pocket.
And black should be a formality for Nigel. Get his 5th frame on the board. That it is.
Hanging on in there. We're a long way back from here, but he's not giving up. Mick Hill leads Nigel Clarke by 9 frames to 5. This match keeps threatening to get one-sided, but Nigel Clarke's not going away. Back within 4 of Mick Hill. The problem at the moment is just stringing together enough frames in a row to stay in the match, never mind overcome that kind of deficit.
Well, the good thing for Nigel at the moment is he's run the last 2 racks off Mick's breaks, so Mick's breaks usually sensational, and but he's come up dry a couple of times, and Nigel's taken advantage of it. Which he needs to continue doing now. He's getting balls off his own breaks, so yeah, good signs if you just hang in there.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen the end of this match. A couple more frames and suddenly he'll be back in the balance again. It's going to be quite a long time before Mick's under any serious pressure though.
Another good chance here. Yellows look pretty good, just one below the black. Need to do something with it if it doesn't pass. Still getting up very quickly from his shots.
Yeah, trying to keep some kind of routine is important when you're out there, because there's a lot of other stuff going through your mind. You don't really want to be worrying about your cue action on top of everything.
If the yellow doesn't go, the one below the black, you get an opportunity to move it. Pinched a bit of pocket there, that's okay. If the yellow does pass the red, it should be a pretty easy finish.
Yeah, you can clearly see it doesn't go in the middle, but the question is whether it goes in the bottom left.
There's a bit of a gap between them, so as long as that red's not in the way, there's every chance.
Oh, he's played that would suggest it does go.
Yeah. So to keep yourself within 3 frames, at least this will put a little bit of pressure on Mick's break.
Just needs to adjust his cannon right. He's going to run into the black when he pots this. He doesn't want to nudge it towards the yellow.
Just cue it nicely, give it a bit of a run on. Taking his eye off the pot.
Yeah, there's a lot to think about there. There was the cannon and the problem that you couldn't see all of the pocket. Yeah, this is unfortunate though. As is so often the case, you get in first, open up the table, and then it makes it that much easier for your opponent.
I'll try and clear the other end of the table first, Mick. Good angle to get up there. And that's just a perfect cannon.
Yeah, couldn't have hoped to hit it any better than that.
Oh, he automatically went for the safety then.
Yeah, and we haven't seen a lot of that from Mick. I mean, there's good reason to play a safety because of the way the balls are tied up, but I mean, in a way, if you're a Mick Hill fan, that's a positive sign. He's not taking this match for granted, as well he might with such a big lead. He's still playing proper shots.
Yeah, well, the fact that his break hasn't worked the last couple, got to at least get into his mind that if Nigel can run a couple off his break and he doesn't get his break going, which is, there's every chance that could happen, he's going to have to be a bit more careful. He hasn't hit that far enough. That's a poor shot.
Yeah, if he's left Mick able to pot this one on the left, it's a very poor shot. Made sense to play the tactical foul there, but
Oh, absolutely.
if you're going to play it, you've got to play it properly.
Yeah, I believe it was a shot to play, but yeah, he took less than a second on it, so.
I think it's become clear that those shots are hard to play on this fast, slippery cloth. We've seen a lot of people mess up what seemed quite easy safety shots, and I don't think they've all hit them necessarily badly. I think they obviously are a bit harder than the players are expecting.
It's so easy to overhit. So, he's going to play into this red down the bottom here now. Open it up. It's worked out pretty well for him.
That was a good shot, and it was actually a better shot, I think, than it looked, because it wasn't just a case of hitting that cluster. He needed to hit it in a particular way that knocked the yellow away from the pocket, not towards it.
One tricky ball on the cushion, but he's still got 2 visits.
Yeah, and he's got a perfect angle to get over to the tricky ball.
He can even nudge it if he wants to, but I don't think he'll bother. Yeah, he will. Pretty sure he was trying to nudge it. I know he's good, but I don't think he's good enough to play under it on purpose like that.
Either way, the outcome's the same. It's a good one. Back very much into the swing of it.
Yeah, it's
Hill
possible.
takes himself to 1 frame from victory. Now leads Nigel Clarke by 10 frames to 5.
Mick Hill to break, leading by 10 frames to 5. Time running.
He steps up to break in frame 16. Could this be the last frame of the match? Mick Hill just needing 1 for a third world title.
Yeah, and he's got a red. Control the cue ball nicely. This could very well be the last visit of the world titles for 2015.
Red Bull's nominated. Red Bull's in play.
So, just finding the pattern. And away he goes on reds. No real issues for him here. He's come up a little bit short on that. Probably would have liked to take the one on the left. Just make a little adjustment in the pattern he'd chosen. Get the 2 on the right rail next. May take the inside one first. Unless he's straight enough. No, he is. Three more shots for Mick Hill to be world champion for the 3rd time. 2004, 2010, and he's a little short there. Just come up past it and play it back in the bottom right. And we'll just run off one cushion, play it in the same pocket. There's a bit too much traffic to play that. Just re-evaluating. And he's played that well. So Mick Hill on the black for the world title for the 3rd time. And there it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a great final. Let's hear a massive round of applause for our runner-up, Nigel Clarke. Mick, many congratulations. 3rd world title. It's been 5 years since the last one. How does it feel to get back into that club?
Yeah, it feels good, yeah. Enough about me. I've got a few things I want to say, and it's not really so much about the pool. My mum and dad are watching at home, that's for you. Everything that's been going on. So, my brother-in-law, all my mates come over from Wolverhampton, everywhere, Manchester, Leeds, Mauritius, anywhere else. Yeah, and I really kind of want to say a really, really well done to Nigel. Fantastic effort to beat the players that he's beat. I know it's not easy out here, mate. It's your first final. That's just going to be your last. I remember, when the first time I played out on TV, and it's a bit nerve-wracking, and you just want to settle and you want to show what you can do. But fantastic effort, mate, to get to the final. Well done.
In winning this title, you're joining an exclusive club of just you and Gareth Potts, who've won the title 3 times. How special is that?
Yeah, I mean, Gareth is a brilliant player. Chris Melling, Jason Twish, they've all won multiple world titles. I've had the pleasure of playing them all down the years. Getting on a little bit now, I'm kind of just battling, trying to keep up with the youngsters, and A couple more thanks, you know, to my partner John as well. You know, I've been away a lot lately and things going on, and we've got the club now. We've got Morley Sports Lounge in Morley, Leeds. If anybody wants to come and check us out, we're there. And I'm always in there. Also a thank you to B&W, who have sponsored me for the event. I want to, you know, say thanks to them. To all the sponsors, to the hotel, and you know, the people that, you know, they don't get any reward really, the referees, and you know, they just get moaned at and slighted, and you can't do this. You know, I understand, you know, what the story is, and as you get a bit older, you get a bit wiser, and you cherish the wins a little bit more. And I'm going to cherish this one, and if I never win again, I don't care.
Well, a win to cherish without a doubt. Let's welcome into the arena the presentation party. Alan Benton, the tournament director, and Stuart Gardner, the European sales manager of Strawn. Please put your hands together for the 2015 World Champion, Mick Hill.
Congratulations, mate. Well played. I thought you'd forgotten there for a minute.
That concludes our 3 days of live streaming. Thank you very much for your company and to everyone that's taken part in this. A few photos now with the winner, Mick Hill.